show. Aquaibo. Let's dance and let it show. Yakidara. Let the rhythm wave. Let's celebrate today. Yakimao Keuli. Let's come together in Aquaibo. Unity will last forever. The rhythm takes control. Aquaibo, let's celebrate as a whole. Yakimao, let's come together in Aquaibo. Unity will last forever. Oh, the beat drops in the air. Dance and rejoice. Let happiness be there. The rhythm takes control. Aquaibo, let's celebrate as a whole. Oh, 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 oh. The rhythm takes control. Aquaibo, let's let it show. Aquaibo, let's dance and let it show. Yakidara, let the rhythm reign. Let's celebrate today. Yakimao Keuli, let's come together in Aquaibo. Unity will last forever. The beat drops in the air. Dance and rejoice. Let happiness be there. The rhythm takes control. Aquaibo, let's celebrate as a whole. The rhythm takes control. Aquaibo, let's celebrate as a whole. As a break, as a whole. As a whole. The beat drops in the air. Dance and rejoice. Let happiness be there. The rhythm takes control. Aquaibo, let's celebrate as a whole. Yakimao Keuli, let's come together in Aquaibo. Unity will last forever. Oh, the beat drops in the air. Dance and rejoice. Let happiness be there. The rhythm takes control. Aquaibo, let's celebrate as a whole. Let's celebrate as a whole. Let's celebrate as a whole. Oh, oh, then the
Drops in the air. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to your favorite program online. And my name is Joseph Rankin. By the grace of God, the Pisong of Aquaibo, my song, Ibibio, and by birth and nature, the Yokwidem of it by song, Ibibio. It's a great day. Seems that today's program will dominantly be led in English. And I believe that my friends out there who have been asking me when we'll conduct this program in English will have a great day to join us and be happy. So we have a dedicated Ibibio woman in the studio right here. We are also expecting Okuku Anang to join us. So let's begin to receive greetings. Nobody's hearing your voice. Unmute yourself.
Yes. Good evening, everyone around the world, wherever you are listening to us. You are welcome to our favorite program. Feel free to join us and feel free to ask any question that bothers you, and we are ever ready to give you an answer. You are welcome.
Especially in Ibibio matters. We may not be able to answer
Yes.
what is going on in Iraq or Iran or Kuwait or Yemen, but we can comfortably discuss what is going on within the Ibibio nation. Comfortably, we can do that. And
Exactly.
this is my brother Udema Basi. Udema, are you in there? Nobody can tell what is happening there. So let's start quickly from last week to some of you who were not here with us. We will expect our sister to just quickly gives us a rundown of the lessons that she learned of our discussion last week.
Thank you, my person. Though I may not really captured everything, we learned, or what I learned as at last week, the program we had, we were talking about being mindful of our tongue, the way we talk, what we see, what does not concern us, and how we should present it so as to avoid getting anywhere you would never like. They talked about several things in Akwa Ibom, though it was basically in our language, that we talk about Ebo Inuaiko, the goat that maybe if you offend someone in a way that's maybe lying against someone, something that you did not really see or you don't know about, you now went about spreading false information about such person. And when you are now being caught to come and defend or explain what you see. So at this point, you will now try to want to defend yourself or maybe exempt yourself from all the lies you've been spreading around against the person. So in such situation, in a gathering of Akwa Ibom people that summon such case, they will collect Ebodi Nuaiko from you, which is a must. You must give that goat to the council handling such case. I think several things were discussed. I can't really capture everything, my piece of please, sir.
We have a Kukuanang in the studio. Kuku, can you say hello to your people?
Hello, good evening, all of us. Thank God for
Tell
making
the
it possible
person
that.
saying, tell the person
Good
saying yes,
evening,
mommy, that it
sir.
should be
Chibo
yes,
Kuku.
daddy for now. Kuku, kindly
Oh,
tell the person saying yes, mommy, that it should be yes, daddy, because I'm here.
Network.
Mupoutu Arit.
Uh-huh. Kuku, last week you were not here.
Okay.
We were privileged to talk about the three different kinds of humiliating goods that somebody can give. Everybody know I call. That means if you talk too much, you lie against somebody, you cannot prove it, and then you will give the goods, and that goods becomes a stigma to you, your family, and your generations. We also discussed about the goods of insult. You mistakenly or knowingly impregnate somebody's daughter, and you try to hide. And then there is no way to hide when a child is born. And thank God for the children of this generation. They will resemble you, your legs, your hand, they will carry everything undeniably. And then that goods will be doled out. You must surely give that good as and then I don't even encourage anybody to give such a goat. And then there is another goat called the goat of adultery. Wish infidelity will cause a man to give such a goat. Akuku, what should you talk about these three goats? What's your take on this?
Well, talking about these three goods, in fact, when it comes, when once you are a defaulter, it's not negotiable. Once you are a defaulter, and that is why, as a child is growing up, the parents will warn a child that he should not be flippant. He should be quick to see, not quick to speak out or to talk. Once you are flippant, what you see or what you don't see, you speculate what is known as false information. Once it is known that you are the one that gave false information, the the community or the council will find you what is called Aboriginal, and you must pay it. If you cannot afford to pay it now, pray let nothing happen in your own family, because if anything happen in your family like death, without collecting that Aboriginal from you, the community will not allow such a burial to be conducted as far as you are part and parcel of that very family. And the one that is called Leberu Songonyen is not also negotiable. Once you are a defaulter, you impregnate somebody's child without doing the normal marriage, and you start raising children. In fact, either you like it or not, you cannot escape. You give what is known as Eboru Songonyen. And that the third one, which is for adultery, or whatever name you want to give it. Once your wife goes out to sleep with another man, and that is mentioned, either you like it or not, you being the man that have an affair with somebody's wife, they must surely collect it from you, which is able to, so the community, the family must collect it from the man that is involved. These things are not negotiable. It's a taboo for one to be involved in any of these things that is being prohibited
In your own area, as a very big and respected
in
chief.
the community. So that
Yeah.
stands.
Uh-huh. So, Akuku, are you there? Are you there? So, Akuku was discussing about um, the three goods that I will
Yeah.
never encourage anybody to give. We have goods. They are good animals. Goat has been a part of our existence. They have been our domestic animals. I believe they love man too. And so they live with us like dogs and cats. But the issue here is that there are things you do, and it is only goats that can be used as a ritual, sacrificial remedies for the sins. I mean, atonement. And why should it be a goat? So, the embassy, can you introduce yourself, and then I believe you can answer us at least one question. Introduce yourself to the world. Can you hear me? Akuku, are you there?
Yes, I'm with you, my doctor.
It's like your network.
Okay, so which of these goods will you like somebody to give or donate?
Huh?
We just mentioned three goats, and this
Uh-huh.
Akanebong Yakame. Oh, that will be you. Mr. Akanebong, please, you're welcome to the program. We are happy to have you around. So, Coco, the three goats. So, Coco, now you have exposed the traditions and you have duly explained what the three goats represent. So, which of the goats will you like somebody to give?
Once you default the tradition of the people, there is none that you are involved that I will say don't give. You must give it to appease the gods of the land. As far as you are involved, if you don't feel you give this very good, it's better you refrain from these things that the community that is a taboo in that very community. It's better you refrain from it. But once you cannot control yourself and you are involved, you must. In fact, I must enforce the collection of that very good as far as my community is concerned.
Agogo, you are going rocket. Agogo, you are terribly going rocket.
Well, it depends in the angle you look at it. You see, just like you send a child to school, going to school, he knows that he must go and do so that he will pass it because at the end of the day there will be examination. And he refused to read in the school. When the result is out, he failed. And the condition of the school is fail and go. Is it not so? Will
He
you say
did.
because he was in the school and he has not passed examination that he must be taken to another class? No, he cannot be. Once you know something that even the Bible forbids these things that is not good. In fact, what the traditions abhor, the words of God in the Bible also advise us not to be involved in these things. So the
Agogo,
tradition
you are
has
known as a traditional ruler. And the
uh-huh,
most respected title in Anang land, Kukuanang, though you are in responding to the people of FCT in Abuja. So tell me if
uh-huh.
somebody doesn't want to give you this good, and according to you, you will enforce it. How will you enforce this good to be given?
I had I had earlier mentioned that let nothing happen in your own family. Let your family be a bed of roses that all enjoy. If somebody happens to die in your own family, because that is an outstanding thing, which burial must be planned, the community will just come and put what we call a J, the palm front injunction. That palm front injunction, nobody has the right to take it away in that very family until the conditions are met. Then the community will just come and remove the palm front. And for you to use your own authority to remove that palm front is additional fine added to you before that arrangement for
Yeah.
burial will be conducted. Even marriage, if somebody want to come and marry from your own family, the community will rise up to put that injunction that you were fine, somebody was fine in this family. The family should meet up with the condition that was placed in this very family before such a ceremony can take place in that very family. No ceremony, nothing of social standard can be allowed to go on in the in such a family. So one
Udemabasi, I don't know if you are listening to us. We have Kukuana, respected Kukuana, here with us. Anyway, network is not in their favor. My apology, okay, Nebong, my apology. So let's have a Kuku back. A Kuku will be back. And let's hear from the representative of all the Ibibio women. Which of the goats mentioned will you agree? Let your brother give or your cousin.
Oh, thank you, my peace song, sir. I think of all these three goats mentioned, none is advisable for one to become a defaulter because, like you rightly said, this name will stand as a stigma to, because that name will remain there for life. So whether it is able Inoiko, whether it is able Songayin, whether it is able Kawo, which is I even find that one worst. I don't advise anyone to become a defaulter of any, because it does not really speak good about anyone, because that mark will be there for that family. It will become a stigma to that family, like you said, because if anybody from that family or if anything should happen, they will always give referral, that family of so 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 and so. So it is not good for one to be involved in any of these things, to become a defaulter, because you will never like it. Yes, like the one of Ekponkawo, I really find that one so obvious that I myself as a woman, I don't encourage that. I don't.
All right. Kuku, are you
Because
with
for
us?
a married woman to go and have extramarital affairs with an outsider, then the man, whether the man is a single man or a married man, to come and stand before the council of the community or any community that he will find himself, because he won't just come alone. Yes, I think the council will send out a letter or a message to such family that so 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 or such thing takes place, that their family representative is needed, so that somebody will be there to listen to what happened and what would be the penalty given to such a person. So none of this good is advisable, my person, for one to
We would like
become
to
a
hear from
defaulter.
Okaya Kanembong, Ebori Bungawo, Ebori Noiko, Eboro Sonyin, Okaya, Eboro Benemino, Eboro Tia, Yaberema is the young in the August. Welcome to the program, Prince Edidion Efiong and Catherine Moite and the talk why Ibum, the talk Ibibio, Fon, the talk Kangan. And those of you that we may not have your name here, but you are listening to this program, this is Nemembubreyo, evening discussion, reaching you wherever you are. All right. So, Akuku, are you here? Are you here with us?
Yes, I'm with you, sir.
One question now, Akuku. Peter Noah, you're welcome to the program, Nemembubreyo. So, the question is, this goods, if somebody is so stubborn and is not willing to give, I I I beg your indulgence as a king of the land. How will you call it this good?
You are asking one question in 2 or 3 different ways. What you are
I
asking
need solution. I need solution.
uh,
Because
a stubborn,
it's not wise to make all politicians a king. Because it seems that our own Okuku in the studio today or tonight was a former member of NCNC.
Mhm.
Yes.
uh, let me come. If somebody is so stubborn, and that stubbornness may take him to the grave because he owes the community, even in his
Yeah.
grave, the community will have to come and serve the family with a note that before he died, he owed the community either stubborn good for Ebori Nwaiko, or he
Mm-hmm.
owed the community good for adultery. He owed the community good for Eboru Songonyen. So the family must give that good before his burial
He's,
is being arranged.
he's allowed to be
It,
buried.
yes, so you can't escape from it. It's better you stay alive and give this very good, and also eat part of this good. than somebody giving this good in your behalf while you are no more. So
they
that's
will
how it
still
is.
give. They will still give.
Yes, members of your family will give before they bury you. So you don't escape from it.
Ogogo, let me share a story. I was working in a company somewhere in Nigeria. In fact, somewhere in Ibibio land. So
Okay.
the guy was a big guy, I mean, in the police force, like a DIG. And so the mom died, and the day of burial, I mean, the maternal family had to block the mom from being buried. The reason being that their daughter was impregnated by their father, and the man did not give the goods.
Okay.
The goods of insult. So
Yes.
it was so disgraceful to this prominent family. The children have all the money you can think of, and they were so angry that the dad didn't tell them this. And so that is why you listen to Doc. He said, what is his name? There's a musician that talks about this. He says, my father did not tell me the truth, and my mother did
Okay.
not tell me the truth. I believe there are dangers involved when parents refuse to expose some little things they believe are secrecy to the children. Welcome, Ataugo Greguyang Ikpaisong, Secretary General. Kuku Anang is with us and is receiving your greetings. So, Kuku, in this, do you think it's reasonable that day, burial, a great man like that, for the maternal home to show up and disgrace him?
It was not a disgrace. He wanted to prove that because he has rose to the rank of that in the police force, that we use police machinery to conduct that very burial, not knowing that he cannot do that. It was an act of stubbornness that the maternal family also proved to him that he cannot succeed. So that's just the thing. Are you with
In
me?
this case, the son is the DIG, but the father, this was the father's burial. Sorry, the mother's burial. But the father at this time, the father has died years back. So this is the mom. So the children now are paying for the sin. This is the first time I saw what was called the sin of the fathers. It's the children now that are facing the consequences of this. Do you think that is still happening, or should we stop such harassment, or should we destroy the culture?
You want to tell me that what the maternal family were wrong? I'm asking a question.
Okoko Ibibio, I'm learning from you. That's a good one now.
Don't shift the ancient landmarks.
We celebrate your cup. We don't see this. We don't know about that one. We celebrate your cup and the Akuku new cup.
I'm just telling you that we should not shift the ancient landmarks.
Okay. Akuku, don't be tired of question because it is matters arising. Lady
please let me give a little contribution. I think anything that has to do with the tradition, it can never be ignored, no matter how long it takes. Because what the man did actually calls for banishment, but it didn't go that way. But since he was stubborn and didn't want to go the right way to settle with the tradition of the land, it can never succeed on its own. Tradition can never be ignored. No. That is why Obon Okuku said, don't shift the ancient landmarks. It's still happening even till today, my Pisong. So these are the things that we would actually have to tell our people the truth all the time, because all these things are still going on secretly, which has really brought a lot of downfall to some innocent families that don't even know what their parents were involved in. So that's just the
Kuku, okay. Akoko, she just brought in a question to you. Akoko, can you tell us the difference between Obong, being called Obong, and being called Akuku? Yes, because many people will not understand this. I'm not asking for myself. I'm asking for the new generation that are following us.
Obong.
Please join me. I was praying for my ancestors before everybody coming, and then they said I should take my own, and I didn't do that. So I'm not, and I'm taking my own.
Well, I'm also with my own. Let me also show you. I'm
Oh,
also with my own. It is not out of place.
no,
uh, Going by differentiating Obong and Akuku, I want to start from the position of Akuku. Akuku is the highest title a traditional ruler in Enang nation holds as the custodian of our tradition, of our culture, while Obong is given to village heads, but he can move from that position of Obong as a village head. There are some people that are being conferred with the title of Obong, just a title, being conferred because of one thing or the other to the community. Is being conferred with chieftaincy title of Obong, Iberem, Obong, Ufur, Obong, in Iso, and what have you. But for the position of Okuku, Okuku is the custodian of the culture, tradition, and norm of our people in Adang land. Say something.
Okay. Odemabasi, we have
no.
been trying to reach you. Can you hear us now? Seems Odeme is having issues there. Kuku, thank you for
Good. I
answering
don't
the
know what
question.
you've.
So our sister also raised a critical point about Eburu Songonyen, which we now know to be the guilt of impregnating somebody's daughter. Now, I want to ask again, because it's a pleasure to have you this night. You know, you are, Akuku is like you are now using this thing to camouflage us.
Well, I can pause in form of libation so that you also share.
It's not libation, it's prayers.
Okay.
It's prayers, our daily prayers. Uh-huh.
I'm with you.
Your people are listening. And then most of them, if they drop a question, I will pass it to you.
Okay.
What are the real consequences of Ekunkawo, that is infidelity in our land? In fact, in some cases, nobody knows you have done that, but you are hiding somewhere. You really believe that you are a star in the game. So what are the hidden consequences that can take place?
Once a woman commits adultery in a family, in fact, and feel he can escape from it. If we have elderly people in that family, the signs that will come out, they will know that something is wrong somewhere. Sometimes it involves the death of the husband or the death of the children from that very woman. It can even, goods in that family can die. And elderly people will observe that something is wrong somewhere, and they will draw the attention of the husband to what is happening in that very house, that the wife attention should be, the wife should be summoned to the family gathering so that they ask her questions. And they'll ask her so many questions so that they'll get the truth. A woman can feel that she's not going to give birth again, because if you are still giving birth to children, maybe in the day of delivery, when the gestation is too much, and in fact, when the labor pains is so much, they will ask you to they will ask you if you have committed adultery, and once you confess, you deliver immediately, and they will
Why
do the
I'm
normal
asking this
ritual.
question is that people believe that the blood of Jesus, oh, Roboskata, Ibibio Gata, I'm sorry. The blood of Jesus has taken away. Oh, behold, the Lamb has taken away Egbonkawo, and then women have gone free, the freedom, and everyone is really enjoying as a king. And as an Anang man, because when we talk of Egbonkawo, the little that I have known about Anang, I think is a no joke in Anang land.
Mpiso, the law in the Bible forbids adultery. Is it not so?
Yes.
I'm asking a question. The law in the
Exactly.
Bible forbids adultery. Then the traditional law also forbids adultery. Is it not so?
It is.
Once you err in this area, the blood, they so much talk about the blood of Jesus is not going to cover you because you have sinned against the
The
law
blood
of
of
God.
Jesus is even against you. Oh, I see.
Okay.
Are you saying that the blood of Jesus will now fight the blood will be fighting you?
How
It's
can he
not
come and
redeeming
support
you
you in
again.
sin? He cannot
Because the
support you
spirit
in
of
sin because you have,
Egbonkawo will now agree with the spirit of God that says you shouldn't do it.
of course, and that's where you stand naked, empty. The laws of the land is standing there to expose you, while the law of God has shifted from you because you have sinned against the law of God and also sinned against the law of the land, which you must confess you are sin, and the law must take its course. Mpiso, thank
You
you.
have said something that I cannot keep quiet here, Okoko. Patience to them, you're welcome. We expected some question from Tiago Gregory Bita Noah. We expected a question from Okai Kanebong, our beloved dear brother. Atai and Ibibio. Kuku, thank you for coming. But there is something I heard. A woman said that a prophet used the hair of a goat and then prayed and gave to a woman to go and cook for the husband, that the Egbonkawo is totally gone, is dismissed. I want to tell you what happened after they cook the food, but for the meantime, do you approve that as a custodian of our ancestral stool?
You see, sometimes people are coming out to say they have a call from God, claim to be prophets, while they are giving fake prophecies, doing fake assignments. And this contradicts even with the God they claim calls them. At the same time, they are contradicting themselves with the law of the land, which is not going to work. No matter how long it's going to take, the law will take its course because the law of the land will need sanity in the land that people are controlling. No way it is going to work. The blood or whatever assignment will still face you out. You must confess at the end of the day. That's what I know about it. It has been happening. Thank you.
Agogo. For example, I heard in a song that a woman was going around telling others that the other woman is 2 months pregnant, and everybody believed. But when the victim later said no, that she's not pregnant, the person that released this information was called before the village council. And in the village council, she said that she thought she was pregnant, but she didn't know. Thereby conflicting the whole matter.
That is everybody know.
No, if you were king listening to this case, how will you judge it?
That is everybody know. That one involves everybody know. You are not sure of what you are saying, and you pronounce it, and you come to say you thought. Ignorance is not an excuse to the law. You thought she was pregnant. You could have said that she told me that
she thought, and she told people she was 2 months pregnant. But then later she came to realize that she was eating a bangogo.
Okay. Which means she will give everybody no for being so flippant. That's how it is.
Agogo. It is a lot of things going on, is happening in our land. And that's the reason we are discussing this thing today. What is your advice to the new generation about these 3 particular groups we are talking about? Eboru Songonyen, Ebori Noaiko, and Ebot Ekbunkawo. What is your advice? What is your advice as a Kuku, a traditional ruler, a custodian of our ancestral stool? What's your advice to the new generation? Because they are not taught. Most of them are not aware of what is actually happening in the land. What should be the lesson? What should be the wisdom? What should be the understanding? Because this video will aid them. I believe they will learn. This is what the church is not telling them anymore. And then most of them do not have parents to sit down. And if they have parents to sit down to teach them, most of the parents are not aware of the cultural norms of Ibibio land.
Now we have an organization which people are no more in the village to know what is going on. Everything stems from the family. I mean, from the family, because if a family is organized, the children will be guided in their utterances, what to say and what not to say at a particular time or a particular occasion. And in playing with in fact, when it comes to other things, you should know that playing with somebody's wife is not the best. So you should have a limit of interaction with somebody's wife. Then it's an insult even to the family you come from to impregnate somebody's child without doing the necessary thing to bring that person into your house as a wife. It's an insult both to your family and to the family of the girl you are trying to spoil. Because I look at that as being
you are
an attempt to spoil somebody's child.
Go ahead. We are hearing you.
I think I raised my case there.
Okay, you raised your case. I want to thank you so much. While thanking you, I think you owe by some drink. I know you are capable of doing that. Asking you a drink is like asking a kindergarten child pencil. Let's look for something we can ask you. Because when we were starting, I heard some of your representative that win election and you send them to Eastern Nigeria House of Assembly. I was told that our brother Malcolm, our brother from Ghana, is in the house. And then, so your politicians went to the Eastern Nigeria House of Assembly, and then when they were asked what they should do for us, your brother demanded prison in Nicorekwene. How viable was prison as at that time that our constituent members and then the politician we elected should go and ask for prison? Now, it's not done. I'm coming. Did you hear it, Tinan? a Tinan representative went and asked for what was called, that Land Rover that was called county council. Even if you climb even if you climb to palm tree, that car will climb and bring you down. County council.
Yes.
Oh, akuku motor benefian. Maso benefian is your answer. Get tax.
Say coming about that.
Just for tax. And this tax to the white men that time. Now, so why did you people, on behalf of Igoribene people, collect prison?
Igoribene, being the gateway city to the eastern side, you see, some people I don't want to mention so that it will not be as an insult, but I have to say that there were people that were coming either from Today State, feeling that when they pass through, to go and commit havoc in Oron Beach. Well, before they will run and pass, we put them in that prison. It was a good this thing. It was a good demand. And that prison,
it was a good demand.
It was one of the medium maximum prison. You understand me?
It was.
And that,
but what development did that cause to the community of Ikoregbene?
You see, that was one of the best structures then. That was one of the best structures, so we accept it. That was why we gave that vast of land. I'll not say it was not
you are welcome. Malcolm David Duncan, my brother, you're welcome to the program. So let's go ahead and then find out why everything was going down to Oron, every bad thing going down to Oron. And I don't want to say this because the women of Oron became victims at that time. A lot of them were impregnated by foreign mercenaries coming from Aba and coming from Ikorebene. and others.
It was their position that made them victims. We did not have airports here. The only thing we had was that water which their ship landed there. You understand me?
I do.
And people trooped down to the beach to get things from the ship that landed in that very beach. And that was how they became victims because of the advantage position they lived.
How does
it was not? They were not the cause, but nature causes that to them.
They impregnate them indiscriminately just because of civilization, and there is no compensation that we paid. Peter Noah says, "Good evening, my elders. My question is, what can a man do to be free from this Egbongawo?" It's a good question. Yeah, I like it. What can a man do to be free?
It's a good question. I would love to try to answer that question as a woman.
Go ahead.
Yeah, what I would say, what one can do to be free from Ekponkao, because if you know you get married to an unfaithful woman who knows that she's not sleeping around without having respect for her marriage. So by the time you find out that this woman is into all this, all you need to do, you have to go and meet the family where you got her from. Tell the parent that this is what is going on. And
go and
as it stands, yeah, if the woman confesses, the husband can take her back. But if the woman is now hiding this secret from the husband, like the one I had about, when the man confronted her, she was still lying. So what the man did was to send her away to their family and got married to another woman, because at the point that the husband was very sick, but when he got to know about this, he sent her away peacefully. And even till today, the man is alive. The situation that women are hiding these things from their husband, I have come to realize this is why so many of our young men are dying young. Yes.
Agogo,
So that is just it.
Agogo, I will
Is it
not
that
have
the
anything
woman
to say
confessed?
since a woman is talking about Ekunka. There's nothing I will say. But the question says, good evening, my elders. My question is, what can a man do to be free from this Ekunka act
Well,
committed by him unknowingly? He said unknowingly. And what happened if both of them are not in the village to carry out the needful act? And then the man is saying unknowingly, meaning that the woman might have lied that she's not married. Yeah,
mhm.
Google, let's go. Let's go there.
uh, it's not something of say I'm not married or I'm married. It varies. It varies from community to community, village to village, family to family. There are families that will perform rituals that if the woman commits this adultery, instead of affecting the man or the children, it will turn to affect the woman herself. And if she closes her mouth without confessing for the rituals to be done, then she have to give up. And there are families that does not turn this thing, and if the woman commits, then the children she born will all die. And by so happening, the even if you are not in the village people will know and will send words to you that either you return that woman to her parents or you bring that woman to the village so that the needful will be done. Let her confess. It has been happening. There's no shortcut in this very one. Or you send the woman packing, as simple as ABC, to avoid a future occurrence. Thank you.
Those people that say they cannot rest, it must be a married woman. They can't love single girls. That they love single women, married women so much. Oh, Agogo, Agogo, Agogo. What is your advice?
Uh, you know, there are things some men doesn't know. In
Uh-huh.
fact, those that are involved directly with married women need three things
Do you
because
think they are
there's
hearing? Do you think they are hearing us now? Do you think they are
okay.
hearing us?
Well, those that are with us are hearing us.
Some have locked off of Facebook. They don't like Facebook today.
Okay. sometimes sometimes men doesn't want to shoulder their own responsibility, and they see a woman in somebody's house being taken good care of, and that's the one that enters their eye, knowing fully well that they don't have much to spend on such a woman. The woman will sneak out and sneak back to the family. They don't have much time. The woman, if the woman falls sick, is not going to complain to them but to the husband. And you see, some men that also like housemates, knowing fully well that they don't have responsibility, but if you happen to go and pick a woman that is on her own, you will shoulder her own responsibilities by providing her needs, and eventually she may become your wife. The way you took care of her while she was alone and you bring her to the house, that's the same way you will take care of her. And those men that doesn't want to share that responsibilities will look for cheap ones, which is people's wife. And that's where they will find themselves into trouble by providing isa so
Okay.
that's how it is.
Well, let me bring out this information. We recently interviewed one of the most elderly in Ibibio land, precisely 130 years. Our research teams are out there, they are working to bring more of this to Ikpaisong Ibibio. So, what the ancient Ibibio man told the team is that Ekbonkawo, if a man is not away, that the day the wife, in fact, the man said, the gift that God has given to a woman, that part of them is a temple. And that temple is only worshipped by the husband. And so, by the time she exposed the temple to another man to infiltrate, it will bring down the man financially. It will destroy the strength of the family, the fabrics, that the foundation will be shaking. Sicknesses will come from all corners, children, the wife, and then that means they will be doing a lot of scanning. The doctors will be listening to them. And then the man here is broke, no business. And sometimes the man might be working, but all the money he's earning is into hospitals, sicknesses, tests, and now the man said a lot will happen to the man who is not aware of what the woman is doing. Akoko, I don't know. Before you are sent to the throne as an Akoko of Anang land, are you aware, besides the issue of death or a childbirth, that Ekbonkawo can be the reason of a man's failure in life, business, and otherwise? It can lead to a total collapse of family system.
I had earlier mentioned, that it varies from community to community, village to village, and family to family, depending in the family or community arrangement. That can subject a man to poverty, and people seeing that may also investigate to know what's the cause of the man's downfall, what's the cause of the man's sickness, and that's when the wife's attention will be drawn to what is happening to that family since he went in as a wife. And that is when she will be asked to confess whether she likes it or not. I earlier mentioned that.
There is a contribution here from Patience Udeme. She says, if a man suspects that Ekbonkawo is disturbing him due to the fact that his wife is having an affair around, I think he should report his condition to his family members, and then they will embark on discovery to know where the problem is. And if it's true that the wife messed up, then they should send her back to her family, or better still, appease the gods and warn her strictly. Is that agreeable?
Very well, very well, very well. Agreed.
I don't know if the child writing this thing is up to 22 years, because I think it's a very little person, a small girl writing this.
He grew from the village. He grew from the village.
Oh, he grew from the village with much wisdom.
He must have. Okay.
I think she has a background that maybe the father and the mother are acquainted with this our ancestral wisdom, because that I think is beyond the knowledge of a girl of that age. So our Kaikpai song in USA, Mike Jackson says it's an abomination to cross such boundaries with married people.
Yes.
Okay. Honestly, what will you say to those after listening to this who don't know before? What do you advise them? What do you advise now that they know? Okay. Before then, Okuku, save us. Very important. Can I share a story with you?
Go on.
Okay, don't tell anybody. I know that people on Facebook will not hear. I was a little child and I was always having headache. So my father took me to a seer of our land. I mean, the prophet of that time. And then the prophet put something on the ground, and they call it is it Obridion? But this one was very different. It has another name. Ndomo. I don't know, Google, you know it. Ndomo. Have you seen that
before? Yes, Ndomo.
Yes, the
Yes.
man was a specialist, Kumamdumu.
Mm.
So this man, I think it is something equivalent to what the Yoruba people call Ifa. The man threw
Exactly.
some things on the ground and then told my father that I am not sick, that there is a connection between my mother's people and myself, that is supposed to be taking me there at least once in every 3 or once in every 6 months. But if that cap elapses, that I will be sick. So my dad, after leaving his place, took me to my mom's people. And there was a man who was so sick to date. And they took me there. The man greeted me. And the man said that the oracle said that a grandchild should come and touch him. The day I touched that man, Okoko, the man was healed. I don't know the reason. But what I noticed is this. I was opportune to have a father that looks beyond the physical realm and is always looking at things in his house, physical and then in the spiritual lenses. So, in the spiritual lenses, if you are sick and he tried the physical remedy and it's not working, then he will go beyond to find out what happens to you. So, I realize that I am always a symbol of healing whenever I go to my mother's place. And then people always receive this kind of being delivered from their ailment, and then they always ask me to speak to their businesses, which I do, and some of them ask me to speak for to their fruit, which I will do, and then they will give me lots of gifts before going back. So now, assessing the world of today with Christianity and whatever they believe, do you think it is possible for people who are passing through a lot of stuff to go through these places again? Or do you think the modern prophets are even helping them or destroying them? So, what is your take on this?
It depends on who is involved. Sometimes what you believe on also works for you. You see, there's what we call soul and spirit. You understand me? So the soul and spirit are one and almost the same thing, but they are not the same thing. For you to go to your granny's place and you had blessings and you also bless people was not out of place. Even now that you go back, you still do the same thing. And Christianity has so destroyed our own tradition that so many are being misguided that they don't know what to do. And some die prematurely because of being misguided in the name of religion. So I'll say that it's better we go back to our own roots. Bisom, thank you.
Uh, it bleeds my heart that we have come to a time that we abhor. I use the word abhor. We relinquish. We are meant to believe that what is not our color will help us. But I have realized that black is black, blue is blue, green is green. Color
Yes,
blends. What is not your color will not be your color.
of course.
I have come to realize that the Indians worship God in India and they have their shrine in India. The Buddhists worship their God in China. They don't travel to worship. In fact, here in this country, they have where they worship their own. And nobody comes to Africa to worship any God. But here I realize that we have to travel every year to Jerusalem to find God. And I also realize we travel to Saudi Arabia to go and look for God. It occurs to me that we are very stupid. Apology to the wise ones. It is an insult. We don't have a God? We don't have a God. And we have to travel searching for God. And we ended up packing sand, getting water from those countries to take back home. while we have Idam Adikorituku that was known for healing, and it is documented by the colonialist that we have Idam in Ikorituku, it was sacred that no matter the sickness you go to that stream, you are healed. We have some sacred places. I heard a lot about this. I heard in Akamba. I heard in a place called Ikom. I heard in another place called, there's a place between Akamba and, yeah, we heard in Biakpan. Yeah, we heard a lot of these places. So we have to travel to Jerusalem to find God. I don't know. Who did this to us? How can we unwire ourselves? How can we take off this wiring? Is there any electrician that can just... I know that if you don't know how to unwire a house, fire can spark. Fire can spark. It can lead to wrong connection. So I know that we have been wired for so long. And then this thing, the wiring is sparking in us. It is creating flames. And then somebody become Christ just a few weeks ago. And this Christ, they lifted him to a pool of wire, NEPA wire. And he was hanging there. And the guy hung forever. I'm sure the Christ in him hung forever in a NEPA pool inside Nigeria. So how do we address these issues now? I don't know. We have a word from Pastor Bright Bassi. He said, good evening, Doctor. Good evening, Agogo. And good evening, Ariti. I'm glad to be here today. My contribution to this Egbonkawo problem is that any woman found guilty of this should be publicly disgraced and exposed and sent her away from the marital home because the implications are too dreadful. Ha! That man and is trying to trim down some of the school fees. The English even Akuku,
it's a matter of time. We have to start creating awareness to know that what is available, what is here in Sokoto is also available in Sokoto. So we have to start creating awareness.
Your listeners are cheering you up, and Ariti, your listeners are cheering you guys up. But there is something in particular I want to ask Akuku this one. Akuku, I read a book, and the white man was so bitter. He said that it was you people, Anang, that taught your blood brothers, Ibibio, how to kill them. And then in the book, he went on to say that the Anang will put poison in the leg of a chicken. And the chicken can move for 2-3 weeks and nothing will happen to the chicken until the day the colonialists will kill this chicken and eat, they will die. And then they said after training their brothers, and trained their brothers Ibibio, that the Ibibio became dangerous poisoners in the whole of West Africa. That if an Ibibio man poison you, you cannot escape. That this was later traced to Anang, that it is Anang that will carry that poison to a market in Nduboise, in the Ubiome area. How did Diana invent technology of poisoning through fowl? And you both die like that.
Something have to just happen.
They're still selling it though.
Whatever accusation you want to join them to give to Anna, I will still accept it. If something does not happen, something does not happen. Maybe when they came, they thought, Anna have knows nothing and they can do nothing. Maybe through that means they realize that there is an ethnic group identified as Anna. If not, they would have not entered history. Guinness Book of Record, as you mentioned. What do you say is the name of that white man?
I will give you the book. I think I have given you
Oh,
already. Read through page 135, live in southern Nigeria.
okay,
I can
no
always
problem.
screenshot that portion and send to you right away.
Being an Anang man, and if you want me to also give it to you there, so that you also deal with them, I'll help you.
You know what
Are you with
I
me?
no what I'm thinking is different from this. Do you know what I'm thinking?
No,
When I
say it.
hear things, when I listen to things, I
Uh,
quickly transported it to this present century. I will redefine it by means of transformation, and then I will rephrase it to what it should be now. What the man is talking about, this present generation, it means that the Anang people are so intelligent that they can create some nuclear chemicals. No, think about it in this chemical generation where we are talking about chemical warfare and everything chemicals. It means that if we have a concentration of laboratory, it means if we study this very careful, the Anang people, since they have that reputation of manufacturing poison, have a credibility, the wisdom that they can create many chemicals that can be of help to human being and also can go a long way to foster nuclear warfare. That is exactly what I'm seeing right now. And now they talk about the Ibibio brothers of Nukboise, and they talk about the Ibibio brothers of Ubium, who became expert through West Africa in administering this thing. Do you know what I'm thinking now? So this means if the Anang can be the manufacturers, it therefore means the Ibibios can become experts in using this positively, not negatively. Because anything we see negatively, we have the power to translate it positively. I don't know if you agree with me.
you
So,
are not far from the truth.
so what I'm
Uh,
thinking right now is that there might have been some families that are given this creativity of creating things. Because recently, an Igbo man was accredited as using palm oil to fly jets during the Biafran War. That
yes.
all the jet fighters that they used during the Biafran War was palm kernel oil and the how do you call the refined palm oil? You just need to warm the palm oil in fire. You
Yeah.
just have to warm it and then you fuel the car or the jet with it and then it moves. So tell me if we apply that this time, the application of it to people after Anang manufacture it means that the Ibibio have the creativity of ministering this medically and otherwise to people. So the problem is politicians created this division, making us not to see the contribution we can offer to one another and equally the world. And then they debar us from the right of being creative people and manufacturing things for ourselves. On that note, do you think that it was a mistake to establish a battery industry in Ikodekpene, sunshine battery? And do you know that was enough chemical to be produced? Think about what that man is saying and think about how we should apply it today. It's just my observation.
Wisdom, you have said it all. Creativity, I think, cuts across. And these things are here in all of us. What is lacking is patronage, encouragement. We will look at it as this one is not coming from my own side. Exposing or encouraging this person to bring out this idea will make him greater than any other this thing. In such a way, we are finding ways to bring him down so that he will not have that credit. So this new generation should look for ways of improving, bringing up innovations to the society so that we can excel. Thank you.
Any contribution from our sister? She's thinking, I believe.
Yes, I'm with her.
Or maybe she's not hearing us again. Then let us believe she's not hearing us.
I didn't really hear what was going on because
All right, she said she didn't hear us very well. The network is very bad. We have a guest, Sunday Ilohem Chuku, and then he has been trying his best to lock in here. It's not possible for him. Network. So that means we will come back tomorrow for another edition of Nemembubreyu, 9 p.m. Nigerian time. So on behalf of Okukonang of FCT, the only man from our land that owns a street in Abuja by himself while he's still alive, and he called it down Orosen Street, with so many bombs, security apparatus, and then he will observe who you are in when once you enter his street in Abuja. And there is an area he also put up. Be careful of Alsatian dogs. They are very dangerous. I am proud of this man called Kukuana. And in fact, he is a representative of his people. If you don't know much about him, try to find out. But before we go, let me read these messages from our sisters and our brother who cares to contribute. We have Patience Udeme coming back again, the young girl, saying, no, I understand and I know certainly that the implications of Egongawo are dreadful at that age. But the woman shouldn't be disgraced publicly. There are ways we can appease the gods and amend a whole lot of things. I am not saying that a woman who goes out to commit havoc should be separable, but there are some families that doesn't believe in ancestral stuff, Ibibio norms and culture. Can you tell me who taught a young girl to say our deities at that age? It's not a question that bothers me. How did a young girl come to know about our gods, that we should talk to our gods? At that age, it seems another generation is coming. And in a generation that you will not deceive into seed sowing. Sow seed. It will multiply. I think Agugu has never believed in sowing seed. Agugu, have you sown seed?
In fact, that girl, not every thing that is being taught, but there are some that have divinely message to give out at any appropriate time. So I will say that the girl is being inspired to say
most of these children are no longer girls of modernity, because I am witnessing a rebirth of ancestors. A child begin to talk what an adult couldn't say, and then you still call that a child? You don't even go and check if your great grandmother is coming back, ancestor is coming back. And then she said again, she's still talking. And if it happens that a woman comes from the family that has been blinded by Christianity, hey, Jesus is Lord. Agugu, did you hear this? A small girl
Jesus.
said, a small girl said, if it happens that a woman comes from the family that's been blinded by Christianity, then she should be told about Ebonga with marriage. Normally, we that claim Christianity should know that it's one wife, one husband in that Christianity. But if you escape to change your corners, normally, we that claim Christianity should know that it's one wife, one husband in Christianity. Be straightforward over there. And if a woman with a selfish interest commits such a sin, she should be warned strictly, just in case she claims she doesn't know of, gives out unnecessary excuses. Pastor Bright Bassi says about traveling to Jerusalem for God or worship, as the case may be. I will suggest that a grassroots sensitization should be carried out. I mean, creating awareness and showcasing our own. And Patience Udeme further added that a woman who commits such sin shouldn't be separable. And then she said, in this our generation, a lot of things isn't made known to us before marriage anymore. Hey, some weeks or some months ago, I talk about a situation where a girl will go to the mother-in-law and do internship because that's where she will live, and that's the woman she will take over from. The regime of that woman ended immediately she enters that family, and then the mother-in-law now depends on her for her survival, for everything good. It's her regime. She will decide what favors the mother-in-law or what weakens the mother-in-law. So the mother-in-law, after assessing her for 6 months, can determine this is a good seed. This will germinate in my house. This will blossom my house, and my son will live in peace. So that's 6 months of internship, some 1 year. But the secret was the son will never know that that's the wife that he will marry. So the parents were doing this thing until we became educated. And what our education do was grab your own, forget your parent, they're illiterate. So now, as it is now, she is complaining that our generation are not taught the nitty-gritty of marriage. Is that a big English? Okay, I reduce. The foundation of marriage, they are not taught. Coco, let's be honest. Let's give ourselves a minute on this. Let us be honest. Talk about it, Coco. You are a king. You are a king. Talk about it. Tell us how many people you have taught in Ikoregbene, in Ananglan, in Abuja. Tell us. Let's speak the truth. In fact, we are not closing again.
I'm closing. If you are not closing, I'm closing because we are still coming back tomorrow to continue this very program.
I know.
Then, in fact, there are things you need not wait to be taught or to be told. There are things you should know by yourself. There are things that when you look at, even your conscience will tell you that this thing is not good or this thing is good. In fact, the problem now is, in fact, peers group really destroy our foundations. And as such, we cannot do what we're supposed to do. The girl may be right and may be wrong, but the foundation matters a lot.
If you assess the question she's asking compared to her age, I think there is a revolution coming. If you assess her age and the knowledge so far that we have witnessed here, I'm believing there is a revolution. All right, let's give to a woman. Let the woman give some word of advice to the women. So the only woman representing Ibibio women today, and Oron and everywhere. Speak in Ibibio, then speak in Oron, speak in Epak. Use all the languages you know to advise everybody.
Thank you, Rev. Wisdom. Yeah, I would love to advise women to stay faithful, especially when one is married. because I think one should be fully matured before you venture into what is called marriage. Ndo idogo mkpon toko yen, adogo, afudogo ready, because ufana fodo ebe, ana nkentanga leo, ufana fodo ebe, afu akereke na imwenu ike nikido ebe, kede by force, idege by force, ndo idege competition. You have to be sure ke afu, ade fully matured. You ani usong po ana for handle by yourself. So kuka ukudo ndo ukere kufan miedo or mufan miedo ebe mayanke nengedo, because that is the problem in nienga kiragami. Ustoka uhida ebe because eye medikiti egu fondo. So many of our young ladies edo ebe with the aim of cheating on the man. Ustoka wodo kenta kogomo. Ustoka eduwen. Just because something must prompt our woman ya akedo wodo so that he krupang asanga anam afando dio sengema, and this is not advisable. Make pe iban yan ubongbo ya resengi dem ekbong afando dio women, because afomanam upongdompo ke didio ya rapon ukaro kuna yo wom pen petien uben tuni uyong odi ufo ndodo ya neke fon ndodo ya neke na ngbo ya neke bono aya fono mirefo, but in a situation of oye mediki tanga namdo dio idigi fon mekpe iban yin ubongbo ya iseng ide mekpong afan do dio me mbo kwenkang inwa iko yang ni negi kpe midem ya idioma seng ni keritang ya ido wo pan ko te wo ketang ma fudu kubo ke wo ke sanga yirbe fiong iba ama ma fudu bo ke ya pango ko, because itong po seben awo kang bokop yang ni idioma seng ni ket ya seng ni tang ya ini yang para kinwa iko, so that ni dikidok mpana ken
Thank
kang
you
kang
so much.
usong
Patience Kudeme has disagreed with Akuku respectfully that Akuku is not right. That when she's talking about peer pressure, it simply means that our parent hasn't installed in us what is supposed to be installed. I have a lot to say in this matter, but till next week, it therefore means we have to bring patience Udeme into the program. Akuku, is that a good idea?
Supported.
That child is an ancestor.
support it.
I refuse to
Yes.
believe
Let her come
her
and give
age.
her
I will never
contribution.
believe her age.
Let
I
us support.
wouldn't believe. I wouldn't believe this girl age again. Do you see this child? This child, she is
But
an
actually,
ancestor.
what is her age? What is her age, please?
Agogo, she's not. I'm saying she's below 22. She is believed. She's
Okay.
below 22.
By Nigerian constitution, once she talk to 18, she's an adult by our constitution.
Adults in Ibibio, this is an ancestor talking. No, adults by the way you put your words. Adults in Ibibio is determined by the way you talk, not your
Of course.
age. Because there are people at
That
40. People at 40, when they start talking, it's like somebody vomiting. Vomiting. I mean, and is smelling badly. But this
yeah.
one is an ancestor because this kind of a little child can jail somebody. This type can jail somebody. And then she has a point. So we'll like to see her coming to the studio with us and then do the needful. Akoku, it's time for you to advise our people as a custodian of our ancestral stool in Anang. And bear in mind that it was an Anang chief priest that was covering the chief of Ibibio land that advised us that the white people are coming. And they didn't believe him. Everybody mocked and laughed that he's not seeing well. And that actually happened. And when the invasion took place, they went back to the old Anang man and to go and ask him, we are sorry, we didn't believe you. But by then, the man died.
Thank you very much, Susan. My advice is that we should do everything possible to avoid the kind of these three groups. goat of Aboriginal, goat of Ekponkawo, goat of Eboru Songonye. We should do everything possible to avoid giving this goat. It will not augur well to any family that one is being fined of these 3 goats. So let us sit up and focus on the future. Say something.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and today was for Akwa Ibom and non-Akwa Ibom and everybody in the universe. We decided to expose part of our culture of Ekunkawo, Eborusawa again. And we also expose about Inwaiko and Kainwaiko, Iburinwaiko. Very cuckoo. And I don't know, before we go, I don't know if some of us have seen Iburinwaiko, how it looks like. Iburinwaiko is very beautiful. A very beautiful goat.
Very, very beautiful. Everyone yeah, yeah.
And so
make Ruta say statement. So what come
okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the fun part of it is so lucrative this evening. And of course, we'd like to be back tomorrow with Sunday Elohim Chuku, who will continue with our earlier announced topic, who are the Ibibios. And I want you to come back again. If you need some subscription to enhance your, you know what that means, you can quietly send your notes to us. So we are still one people, and we are still the same people, and we have the same color, and we are. Chief Emeka Okengu a few days ago said, if you share boundary and waterways with somebody, be careful of that person because he is your brother. He taught me another lesson I didn't know. Thanking Ogogo for him to go and talk to his ancestors before he would sleep. Thank you, our sister, for representing all the women of our land always. And thanking Ima Jackson, who has spent her time this afternoon. Oh, she said, and I want to thank Pastor Bright Basi, Patience Udema, Basiama Umoren, and the Tom Foni, the talk by Efone Bopita no accord when it goes Samuel Edueno, Malcolm David Okan, Craig Oyanga, and Akan Ebong. Beautiful people. Thank you. We shall be back here tomorrow for another program, and it will be exciting.
The beat drops in the air, dance and rejoice. Let happiness meet them and the rhythm takes control. Let's celebrate.
I've always been myself, and you know my name, Joseph Rankin. Akanapani bok ado akpaisyon debut itwenebi akuko osamebe.
Let's celebrate our son. Oh, oh, oh. The beat drops in the air. Dance and rejoice. Let happiness be there.
Pwede na kayo ni Eddie. Unyang aro. Maugugab na kayo ni Aron Jurod. Dede. Atiere.